Want to know how I create this out of the cupboard rustic minestrone soup? Then stay tuned. Okay folks, so the ingredients you're going to need for this very rustic minestrone style soup. You're going to need 2 potatoes, preferably medium. I've got a large and a small there. 2 carrots. I've just got some wonky carrots there. 1 large onion. I'm using baked beans. You can use borlotti beans, butter beans, kidney beans. I'm just using what's in the cupboard. So all this is just things that need to get rid of. So I'm just going to put them in a soup. I've got a half pack of fusilli pasta there. I've got 2 bay leaves, a bit of vegetable stock, some celery, salt, pepper, cooking oil, and then I've got a tin of tomatoes, some tomato puree and some passata. Yeah, let me prep these veg. I'll show you what it looks like and then we'll get cooking. Happy days. So folks, these have now been prepped. I only needed half of that onion, extra large onion, so you could just use a medium. I've just roughly chopped them in all different ways. It doesn't matter, this is going to be rustic and it's still going to be hopefully delicious. So let's get to the pan and let's get cooking. So folks, the pan is now on and now I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons worth of vegetable oil, and we're going to go in there with our diced onion. Let's just get everything in there. Let's give that a good mix up. And then we're going to go in with a little bit of salt before we add our celery. So there's the celery. And then we're going to add our carrots. Now I'm going to sweat these down for about 2 minutes and I will bring you back once we start adding the other ingredients. So these have been sweating down, guys. Now in the back of my cupboard I've just found a chopped garlic. It hasn't even been opened, so I'm just going to add a half a teaspoon of garlic. I thought I ran out, which is why I didn't include it at the beginning. But if anybody watches or have seen my other soup videos, you know I always add garlic. But this is all from the cupboard. And it's also pickled, that garlic as well, because I can smell it. But not to worry, we're going to do good. So these are sweated now. I'm going to add some of the tomato paste. Just about 2 tablespoons. Just put the lid back on. Just going to give this a good stir, get that sauce heated up, get the flavours out of it. Just cook it through a little bit. Now at this point I'm going to add my bay leaves. And I'm going to go in with my tomatoes. So I've got a tin of tomatoes there, tin of chopped tomatoes. I'm going to go in with half of my passata. Gonna keep another half for another soup. So that was 250 gram, if anyone wants to know. Just going to give this a good mix up, a good stir. Now at this stage I'm going to add the beans. So we've just got the Bramwell's beans there, these are in the back of the cupboard. Like I said, you could use kidney beans, butter beans, borlotti beans. It's entirely up to you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring that back up to the boil. I'm not going to increase my heat, I'm going to keep it at 7. So as soon as that comes up to a boil, I'll bring you back and we'll add the potatoes, the stock and everything else. Okay folks, so it's come up to the boil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with our potatoes. Just get our potatoes in there. Give that a good mix up. Then I'm going to go in with some black pepper, just cracked black pepper. Again, just give that a little mix. And now I'm going to go in with our vegetable stock cube. This is a Knorr stock cube. You could of course just use Bramwell's, Lidl's, Asda's, doesn't really matter. Cheaper version. And then I've also got 400 ml of water. Smart glassware not necessary. But I'm just going to put that in. I have to say the aroma's already smelling great. Get back in there, you. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn my heat up. So if I go from 7, I'm going to put it up to 9. I'm going to bring that up to a boil, turn it back down, simmer it, and then I'm going to let it go for about 15 minutes before giving it a good stir, and then we'll add the pasta to finish it off. So we'll see you in a sec. So folks, it's come up to the boil. I'm just going to give it one more mix up there, just make sure none of those beans stick to the bottom. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to lower my heat on here. I'm going to turn it down to 5. I'm going to place the lid on, and we'll come back in 10 minutes time, or just a brief second for you. So folks, this has now had 10 minutes. I'm just going to lift the lid there. Put it to one side. Just going to give this a stir. Nothing has stuck to the bottom, which is great. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with my pasta, but before I do that I just want to taste some of that sauce. A little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper. And I'm going to go in with roughly about 150 gram worth of pasta. That should do. And don't forget, these are going to expand as they cook, so it's going to fill that pan out quite nice. So just give that a good stir. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace the lid and cook this for about 12 minutes, give or take, with the lid on. I'm not going to increase my heat. There's a lot of temperature still in there, so I will bring you back in 12 minutes, or right about now. So guys, it's now been 12 minutes. Just let that steam escape there. And we're just going to go in and give it a mix. And I think that is done. Now, in my cupboard, I was toying with the idea, but I may as well, because I do have it. So I'm just going to add a little bit of Italian-inspired seasoning by Asda. In this is oregano, basil, red pepper, marjoram, thyme, rosemary, sage, and parsley. So why not add it into the mix? Because I've got it. Let's face it, it is a rustic minestrone after all. So a little bit of Italian seasoning won't go amiss. So I reckon this is done, folks. Let's get to the table. Let's dish it out and give it a review. So folks, let's get it in a bowl. Let's get it dished up. Oh, the smells, the aromas. Fantastic. Obviously, I'll just take out that bay leaf. We're not going to eat the bay leaf. So, thank you for your service, Mr. Bay Leaf. But yeah, that there is my rustic minestrone soup from things out the cupboard. Let's have a closer look and let's get in to the review. So folks, there we have it. I have to say, it looks great, it smells great. Let's get in, let's see if it tastes great as well. Some of that soup there. Let's get in for a bit of carrot, bit of potato, little bit of the pasta there. Cheers folks. Good idea adding that Italian seasoning at the end. That just brought that the sauce, the soup, just brought it to life. I think that is a tasty little dish. Like I said, you could cut it anyway. You can be rustic about it. You could puree it. You could puree it, then add the pasta, or you could just puree it and add it over pasta, as you would like a pasta sauce. Potatoes, carrots, still a little bit al dente, but it just falls away once it gets in between your teeth. That is delicious. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of this. Thank you for joining me on another video. Hopefully I'll be back to normal schedule very soon. So stay tuned. I'm going to take a different career path, a little content path. The Asian stuff, I love cooking Asian food. I'm doing an Asian food project at the cafe. But it's also not one of my best viewed videos on the channel. So from here on out, I reckon rustic, British, a little bit of American food thrown in. Yeah, sounds good to me. See you in a bit.